Spider-Man Brand New Day is the best MCU Spider-Man movie. In fact, since Endgame, it's the best MCU movie. But is it the best Spider-Man movie of all time? The answer to that question is not as simple as it seems. So let's go through different aspects of this movie one by one to try to find out the answers. The story of this movie on paper is not a very groundbreaking one. If you have seen enough comic book movies, you can fairly anticipate most of the story beats, but the direction doesn't let you feel that. Starting from the visuals to the writing, everything feels different about this movie. The camera movements are dynamic, the swinging is given a proper identity, so much that after the movie you will feel like now even you know how to swing through the air. The colors are beautifully popping out of the screen, the night scenes are perfectly lit, and those beautiful visuals are backed up by some great dialogue writing, and this is the biggest improvement compared to the previous MCU Spider-Man movies. The dialogues feel focused and authentic to the characters. The screenplay flows very naturally. Rarely do you feel the length of the movie, and as a result, the movie never loses the grip on the audiences emotionally. This is not an action-heavy movie, but the few action scenes it does have, it absolutely knocks it out of the park. In every sequence, they give you a really good idea of the situation, the players involved, and where the fight is taking place. The shots doesn't feel chopped up, so you can clearly understand what is happening on the screen, and what is happening on the screen is just great action choreography. Tom's Spider-Man has not moved like this in MCU ever before. His movements are fluid, he thinks on the spot quickly, and uses his environment perfectly. It doesn't matter if his opponents are the Hulk or the Hand, he quickly adapts to the situation. Even the mind-hopping thing is used very creatively to create some amazing chase sequence. And the best part is, each fight had its own DNA. In the tank scene, saving the civilians took priority like a classic Spidey scene. The fight with Hulk was all about trying to escape from him as much as possible, and with the more technically trained Hand, he had to get more physical and creative. Not to mention the all guns blazing style of the Punisher also added another dimension to the action sequence. In a sense, there are no cameos in this movie, because no character in this movie is just for fan service. Punisher, Hulk, Sadie Sink's character, every one of them serves a purpose in the story, and they are beautifully integrated in the screenplay. Spidey and Punisher having history together feels normal since they both operate in New York. Going to Bruce Banner for the advice about genetic change seems only logical, and I know this may seem like a negative point to some people, but this Spider-Man is in MCU. These characters live around him, so it's only normal that they will appear and influence Peter Parker's life from time to time. And this movie understands that, because it's not just these characters that influences Peter also has an influence on them. I mean, they literally gave Punisher a proper arc in this movie. You don't even need to watch his show, and this movie will make you a fan of that character. And about Hulk, I was genuinely afraid how they are going to use the Hulk, but it was great. It was exactly the green monster I remembered and hoped to see. But fair warning, his fight scene is small and not that significant, so don't go hoping for a full-out Hulk rampage. I feel like we often underestimate how connected we are with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Just think about it. We first saw him when he was a child, now he is a grown man, just like many of us who grew alongside him. And that connection is clearly visible on the screen. They don't even have to build an emotional scene around him anymore. His one look and the situation is enough to make us emotional with all the previous information, and this movie beautifully uses that. This is the first MCU Spider-Man movie where I think the theme and the message of the movie was really clear and consistent throughout the movie. And they chose a theme that was perfect for this Spider-Man, but also very relevant for today's generation. Loneliness, trying to take on the world alone, rejecting parts of you that feels wrong. These problems are a creation of a new age, and it was nice to see a Spider-Man movie address those problems. And it also helps that Tom Holland gave an amazing performance. The action, the emotion, the physical acting when he is in the suit, which is a lot in this movie. Everything was perfect. Also, the suit was amazing. Sometimes you could even see Peter's eyes through the lenses, which again enhanced the performance and the experience. The short answer is no, it is not better than Spider-Man 2, but the long answer would be I don't think it matters. Let's be honest here. Spider-Man 2 is a core memory for many of us Spider-Man fans. It won't be far-fetched to say it played a big part in shaping our life and personality. That's how influential it was. So understandably, we are kind of protective about that movie. As a result, no Spider-Man movie will ever be good enough for us in front of that childhood memory. But the reality is that movie came out 22 years ago, and the landscape has changed drastically since then. The problems teenagers face has changed. The solutions they need are different and more nuanced. Talking with AI, having no friends, believing you are better left alone because you only bring problems in others' lives. These are not the problems we were facing when we were kids or teenagers, but this is the reality of today's generation. So they need a superhero movie that addresses their problems and inspires them accordingly. And Spider-Man Brand New Day is exactly that. Just like Spider-Man 2 was for us, I believe this movie is going to be a core memory for many kids and teenagers. This will be the movie they will look to for comfort and answers when life will get too messy. And isn't that what Spider-Man should be for all of us? So to answer the question, Spider-Man Brand New Day is not the best Spider-Man movie, and it is not better than Spider-Man 2, but I think it is the Spider-Man 2 of this generation. The movie that will define the summer of 2026 for many kids worldwide.